First of all, the General Yoweri Museveni has mastered the game. One thing that Dr. Besigye said was that one thing he can respect General Museveni for is that this guy he can influence you to think and reason the same way he does. When you consider our past history as a country, the current regime, number one, when it comes to security, it has scored 10 out of 10.
Seriously?
Yes, education. Yeah, you cannot compare. Even a border man can speak English in Uganda. That is not common in other countries. People are fighting. Let us look at the cost of accommodation, the cost of living. In Uganda, that's why even the president said that even a fool can survive in Uganda. You can buy...
Welcome. This is the Hard Junction with me, Douglas K. Segawa. Today, this episode belongs to a psychologist. He's going to give us a different perspective with elections, what is really transpiring around elections 2026. A lot of it is actually beneath this particular election, but ain't the same as it was in 2021. What could be the problem? Were the nominations actually very fair for the people actually vying to become presidents or not? We are going to dig deeper into that. It's going to give us a psychological perspective. It's a bit something very new. Ugandans are actually not really welcoming it, but here on the Hard Junction, I'm with a psychologist who's going to tell us everything that actually turns with leadership, elections, and politicians. And this particular episode belongs to Dr. Sulaila. I'm sorry, let me call him doctor because a lot of psychologists are called doctors. And I'm going to make sure that he actually digs deeper to the core what is really transpiring about or around this particular elections 2026. Are we going to get there with the leaders we are going to vote or not? Are you going to cast the ballot or not? As a youth, are you going to go and actually cast for the voter with a heavy manifesto or not? All those particular questions is going to answer for them right as about now. This is the Hard Junction, and I'm Douglas K. Segawa. And welcome, sir, for coming on.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Douglas. I'm very happy to be here on the Hard Junction. My name is Gamkama Sulait. I am a psychologist, and I am also the Chief Executive Officer of Neurolead SMC Limited. It is a psychology firm. It's a new discipline in Uganda, but we believe that at least as we are developing, also this discipline is going to develop.
Okay. Yeah. Let me pick you up there. Do you think that psychology actually patterns with elections or leadership and politics?
Of course, because psychology is the study of human behavior. So in politics, we look at so many things because, first of all, politics and elections, as you've just mentioned, elections, it is not just an event like a birthday party. Election is a process, and a process which comes with anxiety, emotions, including depression, excitement, and everything. So it means that if you look at that anxiety and the depression and the emotions and the excitement that come with that process, you realize that it is not just an event, it is a process that comes with that, and that must be handled careful, because whenever you hear about something to do with feeling, then that is when the psychology comes in from.
Okay, now let us actually dig deep about elections. When we look at the elections in Uganda currently, Ugandans actually this particular thought or notion that in Uganda elections aren't fair. How true is that, according to your perspective?
First and foremost, about the fairness of the process, it depends on how the process is handled. So, per se, we cannot rule out from the psychological aspect of it. We cannot rule out that they are fair or they are not. It depends on which election, first of all, and also which process has been taken into consideration. Because, as I said, it is an event starting from the time people have to, the electoral commission comes in and says, we need candidates to come and vie for these positions. Then the candidates also express their interest. Then also they go into the voters. So until the votes are casted and the votes are calculated and the candidate is declared.
Okay.
So it's a whole process.
Do you think dual elections currently have meaning? Because the majority of people actually register to be voters, but at the end of the day, they don't go to the ballot to cast the vote. You find that the Electoral Commission may have a list of approximately 18 million, and only 6 or 7 million went and casted the vote. Where could be really the problem? Isn't that actually elections in Uganda concurrently losing meaning?
When we look at, first of all, the elections in Uganda, we need to first of all understand Uganda. For the last 500 years, I think in Uganda, excluding the last 40 years, we didn't have any kind of elections. And if we had, we didn't have a peaceful kind of election. So Uganda was a state which was comprised of monarchs and the federal system of governance, whereby we used to have kingdoms. Like you could look at Buganda, Ankole, you look at the Bunyoro. So these ones were producing leaders for our country. So you realize that not until in 1960, in 1963, when we got independence, that is when we saw us having leadership from Dr. Apollomedes Obote and Mutesa. But now I want you to look at the scenario, what happened that when of course, Dr. Obote got what we call popularism. So he wanted to make sure that he can bring on democracy. You realize that there was a rejection from Mengo because this guy was saying that this is a Uganda that must have an election, choose a leader, be governed without excluding issues to do with kingdomship. So elections, I believe that the elections that we can look, even when you look at the elections of 1980, they were not also fair as such. And that was one of the issues that brought about havoc in Uganda. Sure. You had to see whatever that is happening, why the general had to go to the bush and whatever.
Because of getting only one vote.
Yes. So it means that elections, but now when we look from, let's say, for example, 1996, 95 and onwards, we realize that at least people have got an opportunity of choosing their leaders. So when you look at elections from the psychological bit of it, you don't look at elections from only one person. We look at the entire citizenry. In Uganda, have people been electing their LOC1 chairman, LOC2, MPs? So it is good and it has meaning because it is a process that can help us to choose leaders, not just looking at someone and you say, you do this, because we are in a democratic state. And by democracy, you understand that it's a process through which leaders have to, people have to choose their leaders by the majority rule, using a secret ballot.
Allow me pick you there.
Yes.
We spend a lot of money, approximately to $1 trillion, of actually this particular process of elections. The products that we get out aren't actually, causing impact or doing the service to the masses that actually elected them to power. Are we putting a $1 trillion to waste?
First and foremost, as a country, as a developing country, we first of all need to be very careful about the people we trust with leadership. Because some of them are self-seekers. They have their own ambitions. So someone comes from home, he gets an idea, he wants to contest. Others, they are unemployed, they don't have what to do. So they feel like this is a do or die. So someone goes in and he wants to become a leader. But from the starting point of it, this was not a leader, this is a politician. So there's a difference, as we are discussing this topic, between a politician and a leader.
So what is the difference?
So the difference is that a politician is someone who basically focuses at convincing people, selling their ideas, changing their thinking, capturing their minds to think in the same direction. So if he believes in this, these people have to believe in that. There's nothing like independent mind, whereby you have to use your system, you analyze the things and apply all the 3 sections of reasoning, judgment, and making decision. So that is a politician. He wants to put you in a puzzle to believe in what he believes. But a leader is someone who can offer leadership, mobilize others, stand with others, and achieve a given common objective. So regardless, even if you don't have an office, you can be a leader, leading people, but you don't have an office. So, but the challenge we are facing right now is that they are mixing the politicians and leaders. These are two different
well, let me ask you a question.
Yes.
In Uganda, do you have leaders? Give us some examples.
In Uganda, we have leaders, per se I would not be able to mention this and this one.
Because in psychology, you can actually notify and say, you know what, this particular person is a leader, not a politician.
Yes, we have leaders. We have leaders. For example, we have leaders who are doing this role of offering in leadership, but they are not in offices. So many, including myself, I'm a leader. Yes, because I'm offering services, but I'm not a
So
member of
ironically, what you're
parliament.
trying to mean, we are
Yes.
having politicians, not leaders.
Yes, we're having politicians. So that is why you see that they make this process to be so corrupted. You know, we have a lot of people that have money. So someone is going to go and get 2 billion. So he comes, injects this money in people. You know, even the president talked about it and said that our politics has been monetized. You know, people are looking at what you're going to give them. So I'm going to come and give out this money, and people are going to vote that leader basing on that. So when this guy reaches in parliament, this person is going to do whatever he wants, because first of all, this was like business. He must bring back what he invested. That is one point. Then number 2, he came without willingness to serve Ugandans. So this person was coming either to get money, either to get fame, popularity, or power. That is the only thing.
Let me ask you still this question. It still actually baffles me, even up to date, even the masses as well. Why are politicians injecting a lot of money into gaining this particular position that they hope to get, but they're not actually offering the service? Yes, you claim you injected a lot of money, but then it means that when you go to power, the salaries, the responsibility you would have done, you're going to maintain the money that you're going to get that particular side, than actually giving us the service. Aren't we the problem? We, the citizens, actually who elect leaders.
Exactly. We are the problem because first of all, as citizens, we have not made it a moral obligation to first of all think about the leaders that we are going to elect. That is very important because leaders shape a lot of things. The leaders shape society. The leaders shape the economic confidence. The leaders shape the job security. The leaders shape everything that we see. So because we are excited, I call it excitement, because we are excited, we end up voting leaders because of various factors. For example, some people might vote leaders because of excitement.
Sure.
You ask someone, what is this leader presenting? Which kind of manifesto does this leader have? But because of popularism, favoritism, and maybe because this leader makes someone happy, this person can actually vote this leader. But it is very, very dangerous. Why? Because at the end of the day, when you finish to vote your leaders, it's as if you voted your future. Because the leaders are going to determine the Uganda that we want. The leaders will determine that.
Let us actually talk in context of the elections. But now, when you look at the 2021 election and the 2026, they are contrast.
First of all, the 2021 elections were so heated up.
Okay.
Yeah, and the
A lot messed up.
Yes, a lot messed up, and they were so heated up, and people were so hopeful. They were so much interested in voting. But when you look at this election, it's as if there is no elections at the moment.
What is the problem?
I think it's because of the quality of the leaders that we got and what has transpired during the last term of service. Because you believe, you see, we have some leaders who were voted. After winning, they even changed their address, like in Kawempe. You see, in Kawempe, we have leaders, they were voted, but after winning, they had to change their address. So people stayed without leaders. So now this implies that people looking at the quality of leaders who have been serving them, now vis-a-vis the leaders who are coming, some of them, they don't see any need of that. Then the other thing is that there was a lot of promises in last election, which have not been fulfilled. Yeah, so a lot of leaders promised, I'll do this, we shall do that, and it has not been done. Then finally, we have something called voter apathy. Voter apathy is that there has not been a deliberate attempt to put parameters which are guiding people on the voting process. So people, they don't know, first of all, why they should vote. Others, they don't feel there is need to vote. Others, their morale is very down about voting. So, and also, the people that have got the chance to reach at the organs which influence this process, instead of telling these people to do what we call voter education, sensitization, reduce apathy, and others, they are simply doing other things.
Okay. And the 2026 election, as you have really stated, it's a bit down, right? Now, you're going to talk about the participants. Let me begin with President Yoweri Museveni.
Correct.
Do you think he's going to get the votes actually attained in 2021 compared, when you actually put the comparison? The amount of elections actually he got, or the votes he got in 2021, are they going to rise or are they going to decrease?
Well, his votes rising or decreasing, it will depend on how he's going to handle this process. That is one. So if he handles this process very well, because he has been, I'm giving an honest view. He has done a lot of campaigns, things to do with sensitization of the youth, things to do with parish development models. And, let me tell you something. When we look at the elections and the voters, we need to understand the things. There are some places which are abandoned.
Okay.
Yes, there are some places which are abandoned. So Uganda is a very big country. So when you look at the election, winning or losing an election, don't look at it only in one place. So I have managed to travel at least border to border. There are some candidates, I am sorry to mention, from the opposition that you cannot even see one poster in the whole region. Did you know that?
Like serious?
Yes.
And yet they have the power against the masses?
Yes.
So, ironically, what we're trying to mean,
Yes.
that the opposition leaders, for example, Robert
Yes.
Chagulanyi
Yes.
Ssentamu, when you go to Chitogo,
Yes.
there is no any post of him.
Exactly. There are areas where you cannot see posters. There are areas where you cannot see mobilizers. There are areas you cannot see offices. There are areas you cannot see any t-shirt about this political party. Now, but also here comes an area like Central, where everyone is fighting for. Everyone is fighting to become a member of parliament in Central. But remember, Uganda is made up of different areas. You have got the north, the west, and the south. So this means that if we are not very careful, actually, the incumbent is going to get more votes than what he got in 2021.
When you look at Central, we
Yes.
see that the NRM actually lost a lot of
Yes.
positions.
Yes.
Do you think NRM is going to obtain a lot of position because of the weaknesses from the no
Yes.
fraternity or the no fraternity and this particular as you have actually said 2021 there was a lot of
Yes.
excitement, but do you think that the NRM is going to actually attain the position away from no, because no currently has actually 57 no as
Yes.
but this position actually still stand?
I don't think they will stand because of, first of all,
What mess have they actually really done?
internal conflicts in the party. Yes. So you see, in leadership and politics, you don't chase away. You don't chase away. You add on. So this simply means that when we look at what has been transpiring, all the sagas, from Honorable Mpuga's saga, he went with a certain section of people. I was in Masaka myself. I went there for some induction program. I heard people, they were speaking and people were supporting Mpuga. I was very shocked. When you look at now what has just happened after giving out the party card, it was a shock. Yeah. So this means that everyone who lives with a certain number of people who believe within, because in psychology, everyone has at least a certain number of people is attracting. There are people who reason and think like you. So it would not be a good idea for any political party or any person to simply chase away people. I want to give you an example of just of recent. You saw Rakasisi. Yeah, the president is not just doing that as a comic way. No, he's just consolidating his strongholds. He knows that even we saw Kanumande. Yes, yes. And you know where he comes from now. It means that Kigezi now, the man has consolidated Kigezi, because he believes that whatever has been happening, he needs to add up, not to just send away. So when you look at political parties which are still young in age, which are still developing, building up structures, and remember, I have told you that unless someone doesn't want to believe the reality, but there are so many areas out of Central where they have not yet built structures.
So what you're trying to mean that President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni is going to attain the position?
Exactly.
Isn't it? So let me talk about the opposition here, because the moment I talk about the NRM movement, they may actually cut me wrong.
Yes.
Let me talk about the opposition, because the way we see the revolution coming in with the wave led by Robert Chagulanyi Ssentamu Alliance for the White, is it actually causing impact?
The wave?
Yeah. Is it really actually causing a lot of people to wake up to say, you know what? Be honest, you're really fed up of the NRM. It's actually ruled for 40 years, nothing has been done, let them buy go. Is it actually causing impact?
No, it cannot. Why? Leaders are not taken off by waves. Leaders in democratic countries, they are taken up by ideas. So what you present to the voters, what you can offer to the voters, significantly influence the outcomes of the entire process.
Kyagulanyi has no idea.
So I would not say he has no idea.
What does he have
It
then?
all depends. It all depends. But according to what is happening, when we look at this campaign, would expect him to have the best manifesto. But we are having other candidates that have a better manifesto than him. So I don't want to sound as if I'm campaigning for a specific candidate. But what I would say is that in case he has a manifesto and he sells it out
But
to
has
the
a
Ugandans.
manifesto and it's a 10-point program, likewise
Yes.
for like from Museveni, which actually he had, but then even Robert Kyagulanyi said this time round,
Yes.
he's having a manifesto. Maybe
Yes.
you haven't yet taken time to listen
Yes,
to it or
okay.
to read it, and then
Okay, if he has the manifesto, well and okay, and if he can sell it out.
isn't he
the
selling
people.
it out?
That's what I was saying, that when you look at elections, it is not just a process of a day. This is something which you have to prepare for 5 years. You have what they are doing right now to campaign, where these are some of the things which were supposed to be done in the last 5 years. So
Before even the campaign.
thank you very much, because campaigns is like in schools we used to call it kiromo.
Yeah, true.
You see, it's just like a ski. The wedding is the next day. So you cannot wake up and do everything on Kaski. You read on that final day and you expect to pass exams. So I will not say that these people have not moved to other parts of the country, but I just want from the psychological bit of it to avoid things to do with anxiety, depression, saying that this and this. It is better for every political party and every leader to focus and concentrate on building structures, even if it takes 5 years or 10 years, as long as you have built structures, you can be able to make it.
Okay, now, Kyagulanyi joining politics, has it actually caused an impact? Because when we see Kyagulanyi has actually brought our wealth into parliament, even the entertainers are actually joining. Not just for example, Oligaka has been now given a card, and Segona has lower chances of actually joining the position that he holds, right? The entertainment or the entertainers actually joining politics, is it going to be actually a bit better than actually the elites, the lawyers, the teachers who have actually been in parliament for a while and they have actually done nothing yet?
Okay, first of all, that is where we go wrong. Do you think someone should be voted because of a party card? Is that something which is realistic? That is where we are going wrong as a country. If we are voting leaders basing on cards, party flag, party membership, that this one is coming from this party, then as a country we need to wake up. From the psycho-based part of it, people should be voted because of their independent mind, their ideas, they are bringing, they are confronting. So you should vote leaders yourself using your independent mind, not because of a certain color, not because of a certain political party, but because of what you believe this candidate can do. It's possible someone to lose a flag, but he has a lot of intellect.
Definitely.
And when we look at a parliament is not a comedy store. Parliament is a place whereby people are going to legislate.
But the masses, especially the youth, are claiming that a lot of elites have been there, lawyers have been there, but they have done nothing. Let them, for them, actually elect the entertainers for them to go in.
So
what you never know, because when you look at Walkaga, has been actually the mayor, but has an impact on ground, just being in the being a mayor in that particular position. There is an impact on ground. But Segona has been in parliament for 15 years, but the impact of him is very low.
Thank you. Now, the first question that the voters need to understand is, what is the role of an MP? The MP is not supposed to construct roads. There is no MP supposed to construct hospitals. It is the central government, the executive, which is supposed to implement that, to do all that. So even if you are an MP and you're very good MPs, because we have MPs in UK, in their parliament, who have been there for 25 years, and they are still serving, it is legislation. The question is, has this guy tabled any bill in parliament? Has he legislated over some issues? Can he? So the question is, can he stand on the floor of parliament and argue and submit and offer best judgment? That is the question. So we need to understand that the most role of a member of parliament is speaking. And how do you speak matters. We have seen, there's one MP, I'm sorry to use his name, is called Aston Kajara. He's a veteran politician from Chenjojo. He spent a full term without speaking anything in parliament before he was voted out by one person called Don. I'm telling you, one full term in parliament
Without speaking anything.
without saying anything.
On the floor.
And I've also seen there are some leaders, some MPs during parliamentary session. Others are submitting, they are laughing. They are smiling. And I'm asking myself, is this really a member of parliament? So let us look at what we call parliamentary scorecard and see how many times has this person stood up to say anything. We know them. They have said nothing completely. So as Ugandans, what do you benefit? But as a leader, as a member of parliament, if you see something and you can stand and talk about it, defend it in parliament, come sit on different committees. If you just vote someone that because of majority, because of party card, you just go there. Anyhow, okay, which parliamentary committee is someone going to sit on? Can they put you on the park? What are you going to do there? So can they put you on foreign affairs? So at the end of the day, the type of leader and personality also matters very much. So as a psychologist, we have different type of personalities. We have what we call the extraversion and the introverts. So you cannot just wake up and give someone who doesn't even want to say anything, who cannot even stand and say anything, just even 2 words, and you make him a leader. Okay. So it's something that parties need to look at.
Put it your perspective. I want us to dig deeper into no particularly. Let us use that as our case study. When you look at no, you actually give out recent. The more actually they get issues into internal conflicts, the more actually the party becomes weaker. You understand? When you look at Joyce Rugala, wasn't given. It was actually the card was given to Nabosa. You think Joyce Rugala is going to win this particular elections?
Well, Joyce Rugala and Nabosa, both of them might not win.
What are they going to win?
Yes, they might give the Judith a chance to win. Nabako. Yes, because remember, this lady has been there before. Actually, when you go in Mityana on ground, people they are interested in Judith. They are saying at least if this one has lost the card, let us do what? Let us vote Judith.
So that's why Joyce Rugala shifted the gears from becoming a woman member of parliament to going to
exactly. Yes, because she knows very well that this lady has been building ground, and these people have structures. That is the reality. So whether you support them, whether you don't support them, they have used these years to build what we call structures. So if you have structures, you just make only one call. You're going to get leaders from LC1. So you imagine you have representatives from LC1 up to the top. So these people, they just need to mobilize others, and then you win. So that is a very important factor that you need to look at.
So what you're trying to mean in Mityana, who is going to win in Judith Nabako?
Yes.
Let me take you to Kawempe.
Yes.
You have Roy, Dr. Roy Semboga, and the brother to Bobby Wine.
Yes.
That is
Nyanzi.
Yes. When you look at Kawempe Power, she was actually nominated just because of the way.
Yes, exactly.
Because of the way.
Yes.
She have actually stated it very well. And they feel like they were very betrayed.
Yes.
I don't know what really happened to Kaziwe, but everything
changed. Yes.
Now they're saying, on ground, they need their own son, the son of the soil, Dr. Roy Semboga, to be their member of parliament. That wasn't given a card. What does it really actually mean? What sign that actually, or what impact does giving a brother a card and leaving someone with a lot of potential? Because you're going to look at the criteria, all these people actually were given cards. Was it even authentic or not? Before even that, was actually the brother to Bobby Wine was being given a card.
First and foremost, to people who don't know Roy Semboga, when I was joining Macquarie University, I met Roy Semboga, who was the Guild president when I was joining university. So when he left, I happened to serve on the Guild Council. After his election. I was serving under the 84th Guild, and I think those were 2 guilds after Semboga had left. So he's a person of very great valor. He has a lot of potential when it comes to leadership. And actually, I think his political dream is being spoiled just because he has not realized it. So first and foremost, giving out the card to Mr. Nyanzi was a miscalculation.
Okay.
Yeah, because he doesn't stay in Kawempe.
Definitely, he doesn't.
He just came there like 2 months, yes, or 3 months. So first of all, he doesn't stay there. And even if, because this is what is happening on ground, people are saying he doesn't stay there. And even if he was staying there, when you cannot say that a doctor, fully qualified doctor, failed to pass questions, and you tell me that Mr. Nyanzi passed them, and that is comedy. So it means that we need to investigate, first of all, How can a doctor, qualified, a former guilty president of over 50,000 people, intellects, people of great valor and power, fail to pass questions, and you tell me that someone has passed questions? So we should not rely on results of that nature. Number two, the ground. I come from Kawempe. That is where I come from, myself. Which ground did they go to? I didn't see anyone. I've never seen anyone.
You look at the criteria,
Yes.
how they actually were serving out the...
Yes, so I'm wondering if it is true that these people went on ground and 60% talked about Mr. Nyanzi. From where? Which Kawempe? Because for me, I come from Kawempe. So I didn't see anyone coming to ask me which candidate do I support or to vote. So that was a miscalculation in that angle. Then number three, you being at the helm of leadership. When we look at the current regime, people always talk about genocide. They say whenever you need something, you need to go through genocide to get it.
The deep state.
Yes. So, but now people are saying, we are tired of that. And now for you, you are bringing in exactly the same thing. So what do you want people to believe in? Are you really going in for a difference, or you are going to just play on the same tune?
So you think, in your perspective, that when actually Dr. Roy comes in independent, can actually...
Exactly. I believe that if Dr. Roy
is very submissive to the rules and regulations
of the party. Exactly.
They curb him.
Exactly. And I think if Dr. Roy was to make a move to come and contest, then he would really win, because
but he's a bit very confused the way you can actually
exactly, because he has got what we call psychological torture, losing the card 2 times, yet is part of the founders. He doesn't lie. It is true. This guy is part of the founders of the People Power movement, because they started in Chikumi Chikumi here. They had a political where even Norbert Mao and other leaders were, and they started it. So this guy from the university days, he has been initiating it. But we have got a section of people who believe that everything should just work the way they want without looking at some of the contributions. But if they give out the card, depending on the contributions and the loyalty of the political party as no, then maybe he didn't qualify, because the other guy was it a national mobilizer of the party?
The Kunga
Kunga. So maybe the only factor where this candidate can win him was the Kunga. Only that. But also, he has also done and contributed on other factors. So the other thing I can say, I wonder, where do people get the thing of saying everyone is a Munyampi? Everyone is a Munyampi, everyone is a mole, everyone has eaten. So you are going to govern the country with who? If everyone is a Munyampi, you don't want to associate himself with him. You see? So I have seen that on social media. People post, Roy is a Munyampi, this one is a Munyampi. So at the end of the day, let me tell you something. Even when General Museveni captured power, there are people from Amini's regime that he worked with.
Sure.
There are people from Obote's regime. And actually, to your surprise, you're going to be surprised, even if Mr. Kyagulanyi would get leadership of this country, you would get surprised that a lot of people would not get positions.
Would that be really possible?
A lot of factors have to play. But
actually, what we're trying to mean still has a long way.
Yes.
to walk.
Yes. But in case he was to be a president as well, you'd be surprised that a lot of people who think they are going to be in his government, they are not there. You'll be seeing a lot of people in NRM occupying the government of Mr. Kyagulanyi. I'm telling you.
This is the hard junction.
Yes.
So, let us actually dig still there.
Yes.
When we look at Betty Nambos,
Mm.
Betty Nambos has spent like 3 terms
Yes.
in Parliament.
Heading to 20 years.
Heading to 20 years. And we are claiming Museveni actually to spend long in office. Then they're still actually
Yes.
serving.
Mm.
What sign do they actually say to the young?
It is extremely very unfortunate for our country that a country that has 75% of youth, well educated, well composed, like you just mentioned about Honorable Majezi David William. You know, we have the potential, but if you do not pave way for us, we cannot be able to be there. So if you claim, this is what I told you, that we need to put the reality. We need to have a litmus paper in these elections and in our politicians. If you say you want to chase away someone who has been for 30 years or 40 years in leadership, and for you, you are 20 years in leadership, I am telling you, then Ugandans are going to be made to believe that you're fooling them. If it is true that you're standing on your words, you become like Mandela. You come and say, I'm going to serve 1 term of leadership. After one term, go back home and sleep. So there are specific kind of people who don't even deserve to talk about the NRM government, that they have overstayed in power. No, because they are the same. So you realize not only him, even we have Honorable Mwanga Chivumbi. He has been there for too long.
The way it's cascading
Yes.
is actually amusing.
Exactly. So when you look, even Honorable Mpuga, he has been there for long. Even my friend here, the gentleman we talked about, Honorable Segona, he has been there for long.
But actually, they are vying for positions
Yes.
still again.
So the question is, what do you want the youth to believe? Is it true that you guys, you want to change? This is what I talked about before. Is it true that you want to change what has been there, or you want also to be there? These are two things from the mental aspect of it. Maybe you are interested in being there. So it is because some of the people, they have made the politics and parliament, they have made it like business, like their job, lifetime. Yes.
45 million
Yes,
per month.
per month, it's a lot of money. Exactly. So I believe that let us set example. For me, I would be willing to support any political party that sets an example. If you say General Museveni has been there for so long, don't contest if you've been there for
Do
2
we
terms.
do we really have political parties?
Yes, we have political
Are they
parties.
functioning effectively?
Some of them are not functioning.
Which one is not really functioning?
Because when you look at some of the political parties, they don't have candidates.
For example,
There's one called the Women and Youth Progressive Party. It doesn't have a candidate, but it's a political party. So I was with one of the leaders, it's called Honorable Stella Nambuya. She told me that for me, I'm in opposition, but we are supporting the NRM regime. We are supporting Museveni.
That's being in the position.
I was very surprised. In a delegates meeting, I said, so it means that it is true. You might see political parties, but yet they are not political parties.
That's why people actually have this particular mentality that those particular small political parties are actually funded by the government.
Not only small.
Even the big ones. That's where my question actually comes in. Let me project this particular question to you. The iPod. It's actually a document. Secretary General, the National Unity Platform actually writing for the iPod. Again, the iPod. Because we really know the money that comes in there, 8.7 billion really coming. Isn't Loop or the opposition actually, not even Loop only, surrendering towards the ruling government?
First and foremost, I want to.
And yet they promised us that they won't do that. So they're not really standing their word.
I want to first of all quote one of the members of parliament from the National Unity Platform called Honorable Semakula for Nakaseke. Yes, Tamaguzi. He said that anyone who is going to participate in this election is going to be the celebrated fool of the 21st century.
What he's trying to mean, the leader of opposition, the leader of the National Unity Platform, is a fool.
So initially it's as if he abused his boss, but he got the card. So why? Because the guy said, if you claim, from the psychological bit of it, if you claim that elections have been stolen, rigged, and then you come out and say that I cannot come and then tell Ugandans to participate in the same process, I would look as if I am actually aiding the government of General Museveni to stay in power. And then tomorrow you pick nomination papers. There's a very big question. And then one of the top leaders comes and says that anyone who is going to participate in this is going to be the celebrated fool of this. The what?
Of the century.
Yes. Then the following day someone comes and says we cannot eat money that comes from General Museveni. When you look at the money which was given, let's say for example, I've seen people celebrating since yesterday that Honorable Mpuga is now a free man. Ugandans are celebrating.
But then they were castigating.
Yes, because they are asking, why were you castigating Honorable Matthias Mpuga because of gratuity? Because it is from 1980, from 1980s, it has been there. Even it was amended. That law is there. So I saw the Secretary General. He's a very intelligent man. He was saying that they are going to get this money simply because this is already in the law, as they are waiting for the ruling of the court. It is extremely very wrong to say that because it is true, it is General Museveni's money. So you said you're not going to eat General Museveni's money.
The claim is the taxpayers' money, not General Museveni's
So the question is, the money which was given to Mpuga, isn't it taxpayers' money? So funding a political party is not easy.
Yeah, it's a bit very hard.
And funding a campaign is not a job. Because if just a member of parliament, you can spend about 2 billion UGX to just campaign. What about a presidential level? So can we assume that these people ran out of the money?
It's a question.
Can we assume that the money which was collected, because I've also seen in comment sections where Ugandans are saying, Katibatuddize ezaffe. So the question is, what are you trying to put? And it was also a miscalculation to accept in this election session.
It was a very bad
because I mean,
decision.
the votes are going down at a terrible speed.
The trust.
Yes. People are saying, I saw on Twitter some people are saying, I'm telling you, as like, what is happening? Others first said this is a fake document. So I saw Honorable David Kabanda saying, money made money, but money made man mad. So the question is, really, I think now Honorable Kyagulanyi doesn't even have what to say. At the moment, he's in a puzzle. Because you cannot say that for the last 5 months, others have been getting money, and for us, we are not getting money. So it has been hurting you. Hurting you, Museveni's money, hurting you. That is what the General Secretary said, that for the last 5 months, we have not been getting money. So the interpolitical party dialogue system, that organization was established to bring political parties together to discuss on how they can solve issues amicably, so that at least there's harmonization. Instead of fighting, we have a country that is progressing.
Okay.
So in the first place, to say that we shall not eat Museveni's money, and then you eat it, that was a very big psychological miscalculation, because I don't really know.
The voters
are going down at a terrible speed. Voters are very skeptical. Ugandans are asking themselves, who are we going to trust? Because if I've told you that one political party I have seen with my eyes, I have evidence, it claims to be in opposition. But they told me, hands it down, if you are here and you're fighting Museveni, you go. If you are here and you don't support him, thank you very much. I was very shocked, because I used to see this honorable every time saying he's in opposition, organizing rallies in Bali, so many people. And the lady told me, for me, let me tell you the truth, if you're in this meeting and you have anything against the NRM, for us, we are part of NRM. We have even submitted our budget, the Right Honorable Speaker.
Okay, now, let us actually head to the manifestos.
Yes.
When you look at the President Yoweri Kaguta's manifesto,
Yes.
Is it really very clear? Is he actually willing to maintain the gains, even the gains there?
First of all, the General Yoweri Museveni has mastered the game. One thing that Dr. Besigye said was that one thing he can respect General Museveni for is that this guy he can influence you to think and reason the same way he does.
Likewise, Moto also said that.
Exactly. True. So we need to appreciate people, that some people, they are gifted. So General Museveni, even if he doesn't maintain his manifesto, but because of the experience he has gained a lot of experience that can help him to win an election. Then number two, when you look at Cameroon, the president of Cameroon, Paul, he doesn't even campaign himself as a person.
And actually claimed,
don't vote him, but you'll be surprised he's going to come back. The statues are moving on street. Statue, not a person. The person is in Germany, and they are campaigning on his behalf. But the guy is going to win. Why? Whenever you stay in power, you get money and you get power. When you have two things, you cannot be defeated. So it is not easy to defeat an incumbent, because he has a lot of things. He has state resources, he has experience, he has money, he has everything at his...
No. Can't we in Uganda, we have seen scenarios from different countries, like Nepal, what really happened. Can't we see actually do the same, maybe like in Kenya, where the Gen Z is really need? Can't we actually do it here? Not this particular government.
We cannot, because the rate of poverty in Uganda is very high. So many people would not fully be engaged in such activities, because someone has rent to pay, the children are going to school, possibly he doesn't even have a job, and you're telling him to go to the street. When we look at the 2021, a lot of people were arrested from Kalangala, those islands.
Even up to date,
yes. So there are some things as youth that you have to look at. We are not suppressing the voices of those that feel. Me, I would also not be far from General Mugisha, who said that if you think you want to use these mechanisms to capture power, you use it. When you get power, you call us. We shall help you to lead the country. I'm telling you. Exactly. So he knows. They said you were a coward. He said, a coward who has ever been to the bush war. So these people, they have what you call false narrative.
True.
So we need to go into reality check. What do we need to win elections in Uganda? To change leaders, we need numbers. You mobilize 10 million Ugandans to vote in your favor, and you see if they will not declare you.
The system actually that we are using, the EC, Electoral Commission, is actually it's elected by the president. So where do you think?
Thank you very much, moderator. I have a very big question. All the candidates except Honorable Munyagwa, who are vying, and maybe Kasibante, Honorable Kasibante, others have ever participated in the election. True or false? So, who was the chairman of the Electoral Commission? Justice Simon Byabakama. Now, we are in the same electoral process. And who is the chairman of the Electoral Commission?
And you expect different results.
One person said that it is only a fool in life who repeats the same mistake twice or thrice.
So what you are trying to mean that they are fools, they are repeating the same mistakes.
So I would not generally say they are fools, but they can judge whether they are fools or they are not fools, because you cannot participate in the same process and you claim that you are not going to be declared. Then it means that either you are working for the Electoral Commission, or you are working for the President, General Museveni, or you are just doing your own things. I would expect, if it is true, that anyone does not seek justice in the Electoral Commission, not to contest. Who is going to force you from your house to come and pick papers and
contest? We want to change our country then.
How do you then change your country when the same man who was the referee last time is the referee and you're going back to him 1 time, 2 times, 3 times? That is why Ugandans got fed up of Dr. Kizza Besigye's contesting. And the man said, to respect the dissenting voices of Ugandans, I'm not going to contest. And people are now very happy with Dr. Kizza Besigye.
Now they are getting happy.
Exactly, they are saying. Exactly, they are happy because
next time they will actually also withdraw.
Because one MP from I think is Odongoto, he said that some people are excited because one of the MPs in the new parties, they were speaking on Barometer, and there's a way he was saying, said, no, you're just excited. You have never been to that road. We have been there, so we know. So now, the last 5 years, I want to ask a question. A lot of promises were made. A lot of promises. The youth almost saw themselves as if they have entered the State House already. So in psychology, that is creating a false narrative. We need to speak the reality. Let's say, for example, if all the total population, there were 8 million voters last time, we have over 45 million Ugandans. Let us mobilize 20 million Ugandans to cast their vote. Let the incumbent get 8 million votes. For you, you get 15 million, and we see if they cannot declare you. But if you are still playing in figures of 2 million, 3 million, 1 million, at the end of the day, and only 8 million, it's because you as a leader, you have to start fighting voter apathy.
So Museveni is not even actually, you're trying to mean that Museveni is not actually having a manifesto at all. He's just actually maintaining the game.
Yes, he's maintaining what the manifesto which has been there.
Okay, now, let us actually head to the manifesto of the National Unity Platform. How do you really see it?
I have not got a very big chance to listen to the manifesto.
But okay, what you hear because what Kyagulanyi Ssentamu is actually saying on the campaign, does it actually really settle down with you, or actually even can be really implemented very easily in case actually attains power?
I think because of expertise, you need to first of all work with the people who have been in the system to implement what you are saying. You cannot just wake up and then you start you get government and then you start implementing policies. Policies need analysts. You need people that have experience in administration.
But it's dashing them away. It's bringing in.
That is what I'm saying. So tomorrow, if by chance you get leadership, who is going to do the administrative role? It's not just to talk. No, this is administration.
But needs only the young Senyonyis, the young, Zake.
Yes.
He's having those ones they actually claim they have their Zake, they have their young Senyonyis. They can actually speak them out.
They still need others. I would also give you an example of another leader called Musiri David.
Musiri David.
Yes. He's also my colleague. I was also with him at university. Yeah, this guy spent over 10 years. We went to university, we left him there, and he had come even before us in struggles and activism. I told him, my brother, as you're fighting, you fight, but also understand your role as a person. Don't be overused. Because at the end of the day, you are in prison today, after university, 5 years again, unemployed, just fighting for the party. Now, which card does Musiri David have? 0%. So you look at a situation whereby a candidate comes and contests in Kampala, but then is awarded a ticket of Mukono.
It's a question right now.
So there's a lot of things that have happened in this election, and I pray all the political parties that such things do not repeat, because if they repeat, then we are not going to see an opposition sustaining itself the same way we had the FDC, because FDC was here for 20 years. But if we are not very careful and we continue this habit of, at least we should have a party democracy whereby people should be voted depending on their merit, not just a small. I have people who are sitting on the EMC for NUP, like Vice is Sempija. He's a former good president. I know him. Even on the committee which was established to investigate these things, there's another called Abdutwah Magambo. I used to be with him in University Hall. These are my colleagues. I know others, Oyek. I know what they can do and what they cannot do. So let us not really, you cannot get Honorable Sempija to refuse to give a card to Honorable Medad Segona. It's ironic. So at the end of the day, these such mistakes in political parties should end. If they don't end, we are bound to see the government having its own opposition.
Okay, now, as we actually summarize, don't you think that Uganda has actually celebrated our independence of present? Do you think that Uganda would really need the change? Because it's
Well,
time, because I'm the leader of approximately
40 years.
It's really a lot.
Very, very true.
It's like there is no democracy at
Very
all.
true, very
We
true.
are just actually hiding to be democratic, but we aren't.
Okay. That is a very important question. But first of all, democracy is in so many things. One is that it is true but we always have change. We always have an opportunity to change every 5 years.
But is it a real change?
It's because we maybe as Ugandans, we have not yet come out to cast our votes. Why do I insist on votes? Because we need to respect what we have so far achieved as a country.
But they will read them at the end of the day.
No, it is because we don't come out in big numbers. So the only way in Uganda you can change leadership at the moment is through elections. Why? Because we must respect what we have so far. We have countries where just sleeping for 2 hours is like a miracle.
Sure.
I'm telling you, I have had a chance to visit Goma in Congo. I went through Kigali, went to the border, entered Congo. I spent there 1 week in Goma. The hotel where I was sleeping, bullets were flying like popcorns. I have never had it in Uganda before. So I was just praying. 1 week I spent it in hotel. I came back to Uganda without even fulfilling what had took me there. So this simply means when you look at countries like Sudan, these are countries that are very rich but extremely very poor. Even when you look at countries that we are admiring, even Burkina Faso, where we have Ibrahim Traore, we love him, we cherish him, but also when you look at that place, there's no democracy. So this means that at the end of the day, countries that have been having insurgencies and instabilities, they don't develop. So I want you to look at Uganda. Uganda, by 1980, we were only 12 million people.
Sure.
And as we speak, we are over 46 million people. Meaning that we have at least had a chance to breathe. Because you cannot produce when you're not breathing. You cannot have, when you go here, here near Kisoro, you see people every day, they are entering Uganda, running and doing what? So what I would love as a person is, honest opinion, is us, first of all, to have a country and a society where we have peace. Once you have peace, you can be able to have education and so many other things. And also let us not also rule out the fact that the current regime has worked. However, it has failed on some few aspects, just like any human being.
At a scale of 10,
yes.
According to you, the current regime has claimed it as a give it its marks.
At a scale of 10, considering, not considering the Uganda I want, because I've not seen it. I am talking about considering our past history as a country. When you consider our past history as a country, the current regime, number one, when it comes to security, it has scored 10 out of 10.
Seriously?
Yes. I was in South Sudan at the airport, and I was traveling with one gentleman from Ghana. This gentleman, he had an issue with his passport. So everyone, all the soldiers in South Sudan got crowded over him. And I knew him from Kampala, saying this and this, take him to the blue house. They have a house which they held people in Communicado. But when I told these guys that, you know what, this guy is from Ghana, but for me, I'm from Uganda, I know him. Every soldier had to stand up. They said, please. He said, you're from Uganda? I said, yes. They said, first leave this gentleman. Let us now talk. If he knows him, Uganda has really helped us so much. Our government was going to be overthrown. These guys came in. So we respect what is known as Uganda. And that is how the guy survived. They just stamped on his passport and told him to go, just because I knew him. So there are some areas that you go, even when you go to Kenya, I'm telling you, Uganda, they respect, they say that Uganda has now advanced when it comes to security. So now we also have other things like education. Yeah, you cannot compare. Even a border man can speak English in Uganda. That is not common in other countries. People are fighting. Let us look at the cost of accommodation, the cost of living. In Uganda, that's why even the president said that even a fool can survive in Uganda. You can buy chikoma and you eat in Uganda. It's not what we are supposed to eat, but I'm talking about at the extreme end. When you are in Nairobi, 300 Kenya shillings to get it and you eat something is not easy. These people are feeding on ugali and mayayu. These are eggs.
Okay, now do you think in Uganda here that we can really get the change?
Yes, I believe that change will come.
When will that come?
I cannot say that we are going to have a change next year or tomorrow, but the change will come. And the change depends on which change do you want.
So people have the change that they want.
Exactly.
And the leaders also have
exactly. Because let me tell you something. We have a lot of leaders, I will not mention their names. Their families are well off. No one is poor. Even someone who has never done even a single job is owning a mansion. Their children are in Europe enjoying their life. But here comes these leaders mobilizing you and I to go and protest. Are you getting my point? So we are protesting in a process whereby even your children are not included. I am struggling to get 50K a day, but then for you are building a mansion. So it means that it's me who wants change. It's not you who wants change.
Okay, as we summarize, I want you to talk about the protest vote. As if it have meaning. Where did they actually, which particular country did they actually use it and it worked?
Now, someone told me, I had actually the candidate saying that protest vote means Vigane. So I am asking myself from the psychological bit of it, Vigane bichi. Because if you say Vigane and then you're participating, Ogana chi. So at the end of the day, I am looking at this process. It's a very confused process of elections. The candidates are so confused.
But the thing is this.
What are you refusing?
What I actually read about the protest vote, what they are trying to mean. Semanya Kunga, Loda, Kakume, after all, Beda Kakume, as they count, you remain there.
Yes.
That's what they were trying to mean. So I really don't know. No kabale,
so okay, maybe if they add kabale, because at the end of the day, okay, Kalonde, you voted. Kakume, it has always been there. Kabanje, we have been ranging for 5 years. So I am telling you, as a country, let us not excite people. And also, I've seen a lot of people, they like abusing each other in the comment section.
But what I trying to mean right here is like you are making this particular youth who actually into the movement of change to lose hope. No,
I am encouraging them. First of all, it is okay, it is good to participate, but participate in the right way. Don't use false narratives. Okay, Kabanji, really, can you do that? I'm telling you. You see, I always see big rallies. I always like General Bijirwa. He's one of the most intelligent politicians in the country. Extremely intelligent. He said that you guys, because you see masses and you see campaigns, people shouting, you see you're going to take power. Just only 2 patrols can despise off that rally. Only 2 in Uganda. If just two patrols park there, they can despise off 20,000 people. And now for you, expect these people, 20,000, to say they are going to Kabanji. So in Uganda, power is shared in the boardroom.
Okay.
Yes. So we can vote, we can do this, we can say Kabanje, Kakume, but every country has what we call decision-making bodies. There are people, we have parliament, we have legislature, we have the judiciary. These are decision-making bodies. During age limit, okay, if you are saying this and this, you would have at least said we are protesting this age limit, but you accepted to be amended.
Definitely.
The elections have come. My major point is, why do you participate in elections, yet you expect wrong results? Why don't you say, okay, let us leave General Museveni to become the leader, they announce him, leads us for the next 20 years or 5 years, then we go back home and sleep.
Okay, do you think actually what really Mao did was the best move?
Yes, because first of all, Mao was tired of hiding. Mao, first of all, he was working with the current government. Yes, so because his ideologies and how he believed in everything was moving in line with the current government. So I think it reached a time whereby he was tired of hiding and said, you know what, let me just unveil myself as an NRM.
So now he's gaining the things of the
and
church.
he's even better. He's even better than Honorable Medad Segona. The Honorable Medad has been humiliated.
Not?
Yes, people are doing cartoon, putting like a dole. Imagine a very educated man now I saw him addressing the media almost crying. How can aged man like Honorable Medad reach that extent? So now they have even got intellectualism in Uganda. When they say, those people, they overspeak English. Intellectualism is losing meaning because of Honorable Medad Segona and Honorable Mathias Impuga. Intellectualism is now losing meaning. So because the people who call themselves they abuse and also let me advise. I use this platform to advise.
Definitely, please do, as we conclude.
Mm-hmm. And no leader in this world has ever won election because of abusing each other. Okay. The more you abuse people, psychologically we say, there's something called emotions. If you cannot control your emotions without power and money, then when you get power, you can slaughter everyone. So let us as leaders restrain whenever you get the mic to speak. Don't abuse. Because the moment you abuse, you are dancing on the tactics of your enemy. He has warned you already before even they declare. You are exposing yourself from the top leadership. And this is one of the challenges that the leading political party, opposition political party faced, even before these elections. A lot of people from Buganda, they were abused. The Katikiro of Buganda, very prominent, important person in this country. There's a time even the Kabaka was abused. So you don't, as a leader of a political party, we expect you to come and say, you know what, distance and condemn and even ban these people who are doing this. So it's okay to speak, but you speak in the right way and you don't abuse leaders. And also, the people who comment and abuse others in the comment section, when you abuse someone, you will not vote your candidate.
Definitely they won't.
They will not. So let us do away with abusing each other and create a Uganda we want based on ideologies. Let us vote leaders depending on what they can do. As I said, when you look at, let's say, for example, Honorable Munyagwa, the guy is coming up talking about foreign policy, talking about geopolitics, talking about job security, infrastructure development for the country, the monetary value of our country and whatever. And people are very shocked. And if it continues like this for some time, if that guy can be given like 1 year, only 1 year Mubarak Munyagwa, you'll be very shocked.
Thank you so much, Gamuka Masulait, actually giving us an opportunity to come on the hard junction with me, Douglas Kesegawa. Actually, we beseech you to actually subscribe and actually share the link to different people to watch this particular space because it's something a bit very new and we're actually going to bring for you different guests with different perspective. The way they actually do things is going to be very different. We're here to help you to understand issues and matters of importance. Have a good day.
Thank you.